The next item we're going to look at is ESS BIZGrants. ESS BIZTOOLS Gold subscribers receive complimentary access to ESS BIZGrants, which is what is on your screen at present. ESS BIZGrants is available on a separate website, and there are different passwords and usernames used for access to ESS BIZGrants. We are honoured to have received a testimonial from David Smith, Director of Smith Inc. 2020 Proprietary Limited, which is on the screen at present. ESS BIZGrants is a quick and efficient solution to finding government grants for small-medium enterprises. The site includes 8 case studies which will assist to explain how the identification of grants works in various locations throughout Australia. So there's 8 case studies there which give you various information on a client, in this case Annalie in Brisbane, and what potential grants they might be able to obtain. But we'll go through and look at the actual system. So when we go into the system, the first thing we're going to look at is a client profile. Now, in the first instance, we'll look at a fresh client profile. We're using cloud technology, so it's up to you to decide how you want to record the name of your clients. You can insert the client's name or give them a reference number. Government grants vary as to their applicability based on the type of entity that your client is operating. The entities which are on the screen at present are the ones which apply to grants for small medium enterprises. We've then got some questions. Does the client export? Does the client import products? Number of employees is very important. A number of grants, but particularly some state government grants around Australia, have specified minimum and or maximum number of employees. Do you have an ABN? If you answer no for that, ESS BIZGrants will not offer you any grants, because this program has been prepared for small medium enterprises, and for an SME to gain a government grant they must have an ABN. Years in operation is also very important. Enterprise Connect, which is arguably the largest supplier of grants on a numeric basis to SMEs in Australia, requires a business to have been in operation for 3 years. The business must have lodged 3 annual business activity statements. Annual turnover is very important. There are a number of grants and or incentives that are linked to turnover. Research and development has a $20 million differentiation, up to $20 million. Businesses, which have to be companies, can obtain a tax rebate at 45% of the eligible R&D expenditure, and that can be paid in cash by the tax office within 30 days of lodgement of the tax return. And for companies with turnovers over $20 million, a different regime applies. Annual expenditure has been included within ESS BIZGrants because it is very important for Enterprise Connect. In Enterprise Connect, there is a concept of a minimum turnover or expenditure. And you could have a situation where a business has a very low turnover, or indeed no turnover, but has spent a considerable sum of money, an amount higher than the specified minimum sales stroke expenditure. This could come about through extensive research and development, a pilot plant construction, extensive patent attorney expenses, and those businesses could theoretically be eligible for Enterprise Connect grant. Are you registered for GST? They need to be registered. Are you tax exempt? A tax exempt business will not be able to apply. Research and development is obvious. Concerns about financial vulnerability. Government departments don't like the idea of making grants available to businesses that then fail very shortly thereafter. So don't answer yes if you're only concerned because the client has got a high level of debtors outstanding or debtors days outstanding. It's really if there's about to be a liquidator or a receiver appointed, and on that basis the government would reject the grant application. Now we can't go any further without actually filling in some details, so we've completed a few of these, and I'll just go through and find the most recent one that I have inserted. Now we called it Western Manufacturing Proprietary Limited, and we'll go back so you can see the basic information. It is a company. It's got 15 employees. It's been going for 8 years. Got turnover of 6.2 million, expenditure of 5.9. We'd inserted the address, which was at Blacktown in Sydney, and inserted the postal code 2148. The system then told us that that was within an Enterprise Connect classification of major cities in Australia. The financial details, we've already inserted those. The business and industry profile, we are using the Australian and New Zealand industrial classifications. So first of all, for businesses, we need to select which of those businesses, or indeed do all of them apply. We've decided that this business was a manufacturer. And then we have to insert which industries the client operates in. And in this case, we've identified that they're involved in the manufacturing industry. We can then hit search, and we will see that there are pending grants. There are government grants that are available. There is some free information from the Australian Bureau of Statistics. This business was in New South Wales, and the New South Wales and Queensland government have got a program called the Australian Technology Showcase that the applicant might have been eligible for, and so on. There are a number of clean technology grants that are currently available, and these grants all vary. There are some continuous improvement programs which are part of Enterprise Connect. Now let's say this manufacturing business had been undertaking some work for the defence industry. If we clicked onto there, we can then get the grant details. So they're saying that there's a free business review conducted by the Enterprise Connect advisor, which can lead into some tailored advisory services, which is $20,000 subsidy on a 50% basis, to literally undertake anything that might improve the business's performance. The business needs a turnover of 1.5 million on revenue or expenditure. They can also apply for a researcher in business, so they could employ a university graduate and receive a grant of up to $50,000. And there's a summary of the funding details. We also have a grant toolkit included in the system, so that if you're a bit unsure of how Enterprise Connect worked and you wanted to check on it, you could get access to the ESS BIZTOOLS paper on Enterprise Connect as it relates to the defence industry, so that your team member could familiarise themselves. As you can see, there's a whole range of Enterprise Connect programs now. There's 12 different industries that they support. So the paper is there to assist. But then we need to go into some additional criteria. If we had placed all of the questions for the few hundred grants that ESS BIZGrants includes at the very beginning, we would have had over 800 questions, and that was impractical. So what we did was put those initial profiles together with about 20 questions in them to do the initial sort. And then we need to, for this particular grant, we need to get some answers to 4 additional questions. Has the company previously received a business review? Now, I'm going to answer no, but you need to answer no, because if someone has already received a business review, they're not eligible for another one. Does the company provide or have the capacity to provide defence-specific goods or services in a supply chain which leads to a Department of Defence, either domestically or internationally? Now, the person answering this needs to know something about what the client does, but hopefully the senior accountant involved in the job would say, yes, they do that. Is the company's revenue or expenditure over $1.5 million in the current financial year or one of the two preceding financial years? We say yes, they are. They're on $6 million. Has the company operated in Australia and lodged business activity statements for the last 3 years? We say yes. Now, what that's done is now said that we are potentially eligible for this grant. It's also given us the ability to apply now. So if we clicked onto there, we've now got the URL of the government department within Enterprise Connect. So if we clicked onto that, we would go to the actual application form. Now, if we go back to results, what that's done now, we have a listing which is potentially eligible. And we'd previously put some grants into this, so we've now got that there are 5 grants that we're saying we're potentially eligible for within this kind. So to speed up the process now, we'll say, well, that's all we're interested in. We now want to produce a report for the client. The client receives a report with their name on it, Western Manufacturing. The prepared by name is the name of the subscriber member to this product. So in actual practice, that would be your firm name. So we're saying we've found 5 potential eligible grants. It gives that synopsis of what the grant's all about. It also tells them what the grant funding might be. There is a disclaimer at the bottom of each page which protects ourselves and yourselves, because no one is guaranteeing to the client that they will actually be accepted into a government grant program, because they've got to still go ahead and complete the application form, and there could be any number of reasons why the government department won't approve them. But then there's a summary on the defence industry grant. We'd previously said that this business was an exporter, so prior to preparing this video, we'd already gone through and entered those details, so they could apply for the Export Market Development Grant application. They could also have applied this particular business as a manufacturing centre. In actual fact, I processed that defence industry requirements just so you could see that how it actually worked. But they could be applying under both areas. They'd only get 1 grant, of course. This particular business had also undertaken research and development, so if they developed a new product, they might have been eligible for the Specialist Skills and Knowledge program run by Commercialisation Australia, which could have given them up to $50,000 on an 80% grant basis to undertake the preparation of a market research, business plan, budgets, cash flows, advice-free registering of patents, etc. So that's how ESS BIZGrants operates to assist accountants to identify government grants that might be applicable to individual clients. Our recommendation is that you initially complete the grant profile as you are working on individual clients' annual financial accounts. The basic data should be able to be imported by a junior member of the team. A more senior accountant that's been working on the client should then complete the specific questionnaires, and you are then in a position, in a very proactive manner, to be able to present to the client a report which says, we've identified that you might be eligible for these grants. There are over $5 billion that's been paid out by the state and federal governments in Australia for government grants. Are your clients receiving a share of these funds? Remember, a significant amount of the work can also be performed by accountants who are undertaking business advisory services. If you're a subscriber to ESS BIZTOOLS Gold package, you automatically receive a subscription to ESS BIZGrants, which is available 24/7 then for 12 months. If you wish, you can subscribe to ESS BIZGrants separately. So that's an overview of ESS BIZGrants.